Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to JCK's week 2 of Art in a Bag. This week we're focusing all on color, and each project will use a different medium including acrylic paint, pastel, chalk, and tissue paper to learn new skills and have fun. Let's get started. For the pastel silhouette, you're going to need the following items from your kit: watercolor paper, pastels, paintbrush, your black acrylic paint, water, and a small piece of paper towel. As an optional step, you can use the green painter's tape in this week's kit to actually secure your paper down to your surface. And the nice thing is that depending on how much you choose to overlap your tape to your paper, you're going to achieve the effect of a frame. Mine is very, very narrow, but if you overlap it a bit more onto the paper, then you'll have that nice white border when you're done your work. So the first step is with your yellow acrylic. You're going to go up to the left corner of the page and you're going to start with a nice big yellow circle. Now, feel free to just use a scribble technique to fill in that shape. We're going to be smoothing out all the color afterwards, so no worries if there are some white spots. The idea is just to make the focus of your sun, so you're creating that initial circular shape in the left corner of your page. The next step is to continue with different circles in different shades, coming out and completing the entire area. So I'm going to take you through the next few colors together. So at this stage, we've completed the warm colors. We've got the yellow, orange, pink, and the red. And you can see that there's still those white spaces left on the page, but don't be too concerned about those gaps. If you want, you can choose to go in and fill in some of those areas. But as I said, we're going to be taking a paper afterwards and actually blending them together. So it's really up to you. It's also up to each artist to decide how thick the rings should be. The most important is that you leave enough room to be able to have a nice rainbow. So as you can see, we've got lots of room to work with here. I could probably even be going a little bit thicker on these colored rings. I'm gonna go ahead actually and add another light pink loop here. While you could go in any order of the colors, I would recommend sticking with your warm colors, your oranges, yellows, reds, pinks, those shades first as they expand out from the yellow. You're gonna have that yellow be your core color for your sun. So then the natural progression would be the oranges, reds, pinks coming out of there. And then we're gonna move into our cooler colors. So we're gonna get our purple in there. A nice big loop around, and we're gonna see how that goes. Okay, at this stage, we've filled in the entire paper, but I'm gonna go over a few of the areas just to thicken out the color. So I'm gonna add a bit more orange. I'm gonna really get that yellow in there so that it pops, and so on and so forth. You can get back in there. Now, the pastels that you have are going to be slightly different shades and variations. So you can use the colors that you have to, slightly adjust the circles in your rainbow. There is no one right way. Now we're gonna go back and we're gonna fill in some of those areas. Okay, at this stage, we've completed our rainbow, and we're just gonna take a small piece of tissue, paper towel, and we're gonna start to blend the colors together. Okay, so you're gonna wanna get right in there where the two colors merge and really give it a nice rub in there so that the colors transition beautifully from one to the next. Okay, the next stage is to add your tree. Okay, we're gonna do it on the bottom right side of the page. Using your black acrylic paint, you're going to start with the bark. So you're gonna make a nice thick line. Okay, remember, every artist is different and every artist is going to create their own unique tree. You're gonna take that smaller brush. It's not your smallest brush, but it's got that nice square edge, and it will make it easy to apply the paint nice and thick. Now notice this is acrylic paint, so we have no problem applying it on top of our oil pastel. If we were using watercolor paint or another water-based medium, it would resist. So with this project, it's really important that we use the acrylic paint to get that nice thick silhouette. The next step is to start to add branches, and it's going to create a whimsical effect, like kind of a fantasy tree. So extending out from the branches using that same brush, I'm just drawing some curly lines, and as I go up, I'm extending the thick part of the trunk. And you can choose to go right over to your sunset and draw as many branches as you choose. So I extended the trunk, the thickness of the trunk, and kept extending it up as I was making these branches. I also chose to fill in the trunk so that it goes right to the side of the page. And I say choose because you will choose to make your tree look uniquely your own. Now I'm using my smaller brush. Yours is a little bit different, to start adding even thinner branches to my tree. So you can see here, I'm still using that curly technique, making a little circle at the top and then bringing it back towards my main branch. And I'm gonna do that throughout the tree. Here we go. Okay, and there you have it. You've got that beautiful silhouette tree on top of your sunset. Let it dry, and then when you peel off that green tape, you will have, oh, carefully, you wanna do that carefully so you don't rip your work. There we go. And one last one. And voila.